the quotes that I loved when we were talking with Tua today, and it seems like there's a different tone for the team, and let me explain. So this is Tua talking a little bit about how the team is going to kind of handle things this year. Okay.
This isn't Mike's team. This is our team. Like at the end of the day, that's what it is. Our coaches, they're out there to give us the tools that we need to help us go out there and be successful. And sort of our mantra of how we go out there and do things is, if I go out there and I throw a pick, it's not Darabella that threw the pick. It's not Mike McDaniel's play call that threw the pick. That's my name on that. That's our offense's name on that. And so that's sort of how our outlook is on how we go out there, our style of play, our mentality, our mindset as we go out there. And like I said, we're trying to make it as hard as possible for each other to go out there, and we're honing in on the little details to be able to go out and compete against each other and try to. We're trying to beat them. We're trying to whoop their butt.
I love it. Again, I love it. And let me give you another one that goes with this, and talking a little bit about, like, kind of, this is the second part of it that will kind of go with this point here.
It's a drive every single day. I think there's been an aha moment that we've all had collectively with the leadership, with our captains, just for what our outlook is for our team. We try to not get bored with any of the things that we know we're going to need, and we try to make it as difficult as possible for each other. Like when we go out there, we talk our talk, we try to get in each other's heads, we just try to do that to simulate the best possible scenario of what it feels like to be in game, to be under pressure, and to be able to come through for your team. So, we're looking forward to the challenge of these other teams coming by, but next week we're going against each other one more day before we see these guys.
Okay, now one more, which will complete the trifecta of things that will explain what kind of team you're dealing with.
I would like to say for sure, like we love to have fun. Who doesn't like to have fun? But we like to have fun doing it the way that, sort of like on our terms of like how we want to do that. Like we want to be able to make sure that if we're having fun, we're doing all the things necessary to make sure we're going to win this game, to make sure that I know what I'm doing, that this guy next to me knows what he's doing, and, all around. Like we better make sure we all know what we're doing, because if somebody slips up, like, you best know on this team this year, like, you're getting called out. You're getting called out.
Boy, you Tua haters are going to love that, right? Anyway, I like that. They are there to challenge each other. They are there to correct each other. You know what I'm saying? And yesterday, when Tyreek ran the wrong route, Tua called him out. And then Tyreek, to his credit, called himself out after. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that was actually 2 days ago, not yesterday. It was 2 days ago. And these are things to me that is really, really important. And that is that veteran leadership that you have on this team all over the place. And guys that are established, guys that can, Teron Armstead can challenge anybody on the offensive line. Jalen Ramsey can challenge anybody, out in the secondary. Jordan Brooks and David Long are experienced linebackers, overall. Calais Campbell, there's a lot of experience there on the D line with Calais Campbell. And even Sealer is now, an experienced cat, at this point, that he can add a lot of leadership to it. Chubb is a guy that brings a lot of leadership, overall. So when you have players like this, then they can also hold the Cater Kohus accountable, or the Austin Jacksons accountable, or any of the young players that are in the process of growing and developing and those kind of things. Although Austin Jackson's kind of on the on the bridge of becoming one of those veterans, kind of like Teron Armstead. Not there yet, but he's getting there. And I love the idea that you're going to get called out. I think that's important in football. I really do. For everybody that thinks that Mike McDaniel is Mr. Nice Guy and Mr. I want to all be your friend. Well, look at that environment. That's not Mr. Nice Guy environment. The problem is that it's what you see on the periphery, and that's all we get to see. But behind the scenes, it can't be all fun and games. And the players can handle this like all fun and games. If they do, then you've got a guy dancing behind you when you're losing or you're in a tight game with a bad team and you're the University of Miami. Remember that a couple years ago? And you're like, bro, what is that guy like? He's acting on the sidelines like a goofball. And I think they were either barely leading like Eastern Michigan or something. I forgot what it was. It was like some crappy school. And you have that kind of environment. That's not the environment that they're going to breed in that team. And that's good. This is part of kind of getting out of that shell of who you've been for many years. It's not a Mike McDaniel thing. It's not a Tua thing. This is a Miami Dolphin thing for 40 years, 40 plus years. This has not been a tough team. This has not been a team that's been accountable in key moments. In fact, it's mostly folded in key moments. So I like that attitude now that they have of it.